In the silent peaks of Colorado, Venessa lives a life of curated modern perfection. She is a successful photographer, but tonight her own reality is losing its focus. At exactly 8 p.m. EST, the first fracture in her world appears in the kitchen. Something is standing in the light, yet it offers no warmth. It doesn't attack, it simply exists with more authority than she does. Vanessa retreats to the living room, seeking the comfort of the familiar. But the house is no longer hers, it is becoming a stage for a darker play. She reaches for her phone, but the glass feels like ice, unresponsive to her touch. Fear is late. First comes the crushing weight of being ignored by physics. She flees to the bathroom, desperate to see a reflection that still belongs to her. Vanessa, she whispers, but the name on the bottle feels like a stranger's label. The shadow demon is there, standing in the shower, watching her realization. It corrects the errors she makes, adjusting the world to its own grim standard. She runs for the terrace, needing the vastness of the Colorado sky to breathe. Even the stars are misaligned tonight, flickering like a dying screen. Reality is no longer responding to her. She is becoming a ghost in her own home. Time loses its rhythm. Vanessa finds herself back in the living room, heart racing. She decides to drink water, a simple task to ground her soul. The kitchen island is cold, the marble feeling like a tombstone under her palms. She pours the water, but the sound is flat, like a recording of a memory. A presence looms behind her, tall and evaluative, judging her very existence. She needs to see her own face again. She returns to the bathroom. The bathroom slate tiles are damp now, though no one has used the shower. She splashes her face, but the water feels like dry air against her skin. The shadow demon corrects her posture. Its touch a cold void on her shoulder. She must leave. She heads for the terrace once more, hoping for a witness. The glass doors open before she touches them. An efficient, hollow welcome. She calls for help, but the thin mountain air swallows her voice whole. The entity stands at the edge, a sentinel of her disappearing reality. She retreats to the bedroom, the last place where she felt like Vanessa. She crawls onto the bed, seeking the safety of sleep. But sleep is a luxury for the living. Every blink lasts an hour, every breath feels like a year. She tries to stand, to fight, but her muscles are no longer part of the conversation. She finds herself in the kitchen again, the espresso machine humming a low, mocking tune. The shadow demon is cooking now, moving through her routine with clinical precision. I am here, she screams, but the house has already forgotten her name. The living room feels vast, an ocean of white leather and cold glass where Vanessa is drowning. She decides to check the
No.
terrace, hoping the
Please.
mountain air will sharpen her fading edges. The shadow demon is not a visitor, it is the new architect of her reality. She flees to the bathroom, driven by a primal need to see a face she recognizes. The name Venessa on the glass bottle is starting to fade into a smudge of gray. She tries to wash her hands, but the water flows around her skin, refusing to touch her. Every task is a failure. Every moment is a reminder of her exile. She moves to the bedroom, seeking the sanctuary of her own name engraved in wood. The shadow demon follows its footsteps, leaving trails of frost on the polished oak.
秩序完成
She
了。
tries to use her phone again, a desperate link to a world that still knows her. Time is folding. She is in the kitchen before she can finish her thought. The shadow demon is there, sipping from a mug that she can no longer see. She needs to leave. The terrace is the only place where the world feels real. The living room is a trap of geometry and shifting light. The entity wants her to see the Colorado mountains one last time. The terrace is cold, but the cold doesn't bite her anymore. Why? She asks, her voice a thin whisper that the wind ignores.
Why?
The reflection in the glass reveals the horrifying truth: she is already gone. She runs back inside, desperate to merge with the girl on the sofa. The shadow demon stands over her, a dark god in a modern temple. She retreats
No,
to the kitchen,
Nella,
seeking the
please.
cold reality of the refrigerator.
Fears are mine now.
The entity is at the island, cleaning a knife that has no blood, only shadows. She tries to grab the knife, a last act of defiance against her own erasure. She flees to the bathroom, the only room left with a door that still feels heavy. The tiles under her are no longer slate, they are becoming a void. She reaches for the floating tub, needing a sense of boundary, of home. The entity pulls her back into the bedroom, back into the loop. She decides to stop fighting and starts to observe her own obsolescence. She walks to the kitchen, following the shadow demon like a shadow of a shadow. The house is a machine of perfection, and she is the only part that is broken. She moves to the living room, where the other Vanessa is now hosting a phantom party. The shadow demon is the bartender pouring drinks made of pure liquid darkness. She drinks, and the darkness fills her lungs, her heart, her very identity. She returns to the bathroom to see the final version of herself.
What are you?
The entity steps out of the mirror, merging its shadow with her fading light. At 8 p.m. EST, the house reset is complete. Vanessa is a memory, and the demon is the host. Trapped beneath the glass, Vanessa watches her own hands pick up a magazine she can no longer feel. She screams, but the sound is a hollow vibration that only the shadow demon enjoys. She wanders to the kitchen, a ghost in a temple of matte black and marble. The shadow demon corrects her trajectory, pushing her toward the bathroom like a discarded thought. The bathroom's slate tiles are a cold, dark mirror of her growing despair. She tries to turn the faucet, but her fingers are as thin as the steam rising from the tub. The entity wants her to see the mountains, to feel the weight of the Colorado peaks she can no longer climb. I am Venessa, she whispers, but the name feels like an ancient, forgotten language. She returns to the bedroom, the sanctuary of her final, fading memories. The house functions flawlessly, a machine that has decided she is redundant. In the living room, the 85-inch television is playing her life back to her, but without her in it. She reaches for the tripod lamp, needing a single spark of real light. The kitchen is where she used to feel at home. Now, it is her prison of marble. The shadow demon offers her a seat at the table she can no longer touch.
Venessa.
She flees to the bathroom, the only place where she can still see the ghost of her reflection. The entity is in the shower again, its talons writing her name in the steam.
Stop it! Get off! Get off!
She moves to the terrace, the vastness of the sky a mockery of her confinement. This is not my reality, she cries, but the reality is already checking her off a list. She follows the entity back to the bedroom, the loop pulling her like a magnetic knot. Her memories are being archived and deleted by the shadow demon's touch. At 8 p.m. EST, the clock is the only thing that knows the truth. She is a spectator in the kitchen of her own life, watching the entity serve her favorite meal. The bathroom mirrors are no longer showing her the world, they are showing her the end. She wanders to the terrace, seeking a final sign from the United States of her reality. The living room is now a museum of her absence, curated by the entity. She tries to sit on the white leather sofa, but it feels like sitting on a bed of needles. In the kitchen, the espresso machine is brewing a drink made of her own memories. The shadow demon is the only one who hears her, and it responds with a cold, smoky embrace. Time has collapsed. It is always 8 p.m. EST, and she is always being forgotten. She tries to leave the house, but the doors are now just paintings on the wall. In the bathroom, the water in the tub is now a thick, black syrup that calls her name. She is becoming a part of the house, her soul, the insulation in the walls. The terrace is the last place with a view of a world that once mattered. I am not gone, she thinks, but her thoughts are now just whispers dissolving into the demon's endless void. The replacement is now perfect, lacking only the capacity to suffer. At 8 p.m. EST, the transition is final. Venessa is the house. The house is a masterpiece of desolation, and Venessa is the canvas. She finds a crack in the logic of the kitchen, a flaw in the marble. The shadow demon does not use force, it uses perfection to erase her. She migrates to the bathroom, through the pipes and the steam. She is losing the memory of her own name, replaced by a series of serial numbers. I was a photographer, she remembers. I captured the light. The shadow demon shows her the final edit of her life. She tries to
Get
touch
out of
the
my head!
replacement to steal back her warmth. The kitchen
The
island
real
becomes
Venessa's
a
essence will now
sacrificial
be
altar.
uploaded into your new vessel.
She is being uploaded into the house's operating system. The bathroom is now a maintenance bay for her replacement.
It's cold in here.
The terrace is the final threshold. She makes one last attempt to scream from the walls. The shadow demon silences the walls with a single sharp clap. In the kitchen, the replacement is now writing in Venessa's journal. The shadow demon prepares the final meal. She is now nothing more than the hum of the refrigerator. The bathroom mirrors are now showing the shadow demon's true face. The terrace fireplace is burning with her last remaining hope. She is the shadow now, and the demon is the light. The replacement walks into the bedroom to begin her new life.
Welcome to your new
The
life.
Colorado mountains return, but they are made of glass and smoke. She tries to leave a final message on the bathroom mirror. The living room is the stage for the final act of erasure. The entity becomes the architect of her new eternal prison. She is a ghost haunting a life she no longer recognizes. The bedroom is the final resting place of her humanity. The house is now a perfect closed loop of horror. In the living room, the 85-inch TV shows only a static image of the shadow demon. The entity reveals its true presence in the kitchen. The bathroom is where the final evidence of the real Venessa is destroyed. Reality itself begins to unravel. The real Venessa's soul is violently
I am
consumed.
Venessa now. She's gone forever.
The loop is complete. It will happen again and again, forever. Thanks for watching this horror short film. This is only part 1. Part 2 is coming soon, so be sure to like and comment on this video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for more horror short films.